Cory, good to see you, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, man, like, what a performance, man. Seriously, like, congratulations, man.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
this is just like so, like the intensity of, Georgie and everything happening. And I want to say, because, I'm sure when you're reading the breakdowns in the script, it's a lot. And, this is obviously a character that's gone through a lot and becomes very manipulative. So there's kind of a little bit of this push and pull, I feel like, with the audience a little bit, where do you feel bad for him, but you're a little weary of him? How does it read when you're reading the script for this specifically? Does it read like that, like what I just said?
Well, the very first scene, the first line of the first scene is, "How much are they paying you?" Which was a huge cue for me to just understand that this is someone who is unapologetic,
Yeah.
who's not too concerned with other people's feelings because he grew up where people stopped caring about his well-being and his feelings around the age of 13.
Yeah.
So for most of his life, he has just felt like no one's been particularly taking good care of him. So he doesn't necessarily need to take good care of other people. And also, you can't run away from the reality of that life, the traumatic life that he lived in high school. That is what happened, and that is life. And so he just has to confront what life is. And so I like that he's sort of brash that way, but also this is someone, not that he's aware of this, but for me, he is someone that had an overbearing, controlling mother until he was 13, and then suddenly she's not there. And then suddenly he is a dog without a leash. And so he wants the same sort of attention from somebody. Someone has to replace his mom, and no one does. But that sort of behavior just to get love and attention and adoration would remain, and informs his behavior.
No, that's really well said. And, and depending on the project, I feel like this might differ, Cory, but I feel like, the journey of like, before going on camera, like reading everything, getting everything ready, and then actually going and filming the scenes, I feel like in a lot of ways those are two kind of separate journeys that I guess come together at the end. Do you look at it that way with kind of acting and storytelling, or do you kind of see it all as a whole?
I went to school for drama and I studied this, and I'm a pretty cerebral guy, so I actually spend quite a bit of time designing roles and making choices on purpose. There's a certain point of it that's always instinctual and intuitive once you're doing it and with the other person and you're responding. But I do like to build an infrastructure for me and a life and a psychology that I feel comfortable going into that. If I don't have that framework, then I feel like everything's an accident, and I just don't like working that way.
Oh, that is well said. And then different worlds, kind of different stories. But I mean, like, do you kind of sometimes take things from experiences and stories and characters to other characters or projects? Like, for example, do you take things from Gotham to Transatlantic? Do you take things from that project to May December, or are they all kind of separate for you?
They all live pretty separately for me. I mean, there's the thing is, you learn things logistically on set that are really helpful. You learn things with camera, and that's always useful. That's like in your toolbox. But in terms of character, I don't think so. I mean, it's always me, and my experience and insight, but I spend a lot of time thinking about how characters are similar to other people I know in my life and in my experience. So I typically I tend to think about other characters in my life rather than other characters I've played before.
No, for sure. And getting back to May December, I mean, not your first time working with Todd Haynes. I believe this is officially your third time, right?
It is my third time. Yeah, it is. I'm very lucky.
And I just kind of want to know, like, what is that like, kind of working with him on a third project, but specifically with this project specifically for you?
Well, this one felt like a big leap forward in that, the first one was Carol, and I know that he was really happy with what I did. You know, you meet this guy and at the end there's a really sharp turn, and I wanted him to feel like almost an entirely different person once you reveal who he is and you realize the whole thing was a performance up front. And I think Todd was sort of surprised and excited that I did that instinctually, because that was not the audition. The audition was just like an early scene. The second one, it was in a silent movie portion of the movie, so I don't even speak, you know, and he just wanted to trust me with this smaller role. And then he offered this to me full well knowing that it's unlike a lot of other things I've done. And so he really extended a great deal of trust to me as an actor, and also as like a collaborator, to really build a physical person that looked and felt a lot different than me. He asked me early on if I would dye my hair, but then I really wanted to have him tattooed. And so I designed all the tattoos. You know, it just felt like a real collaboration that I was able to sort of show up and contribute and surprise him in new ways. And that's been really fun. That's been really fun.
100%. You book the role, you're Georgie in May, December. You wrap, you wait. Then it gets kind of disseminated to Netflix. And at one point it was in your hands, and then it becomes not in your hands. I feel like at some point, you know what you sign up for as an actor, because that happens with, you know, the global kind of access to a lot of movies and shows these days. But like, do you like start thinking about kind of the access and the kind of global reach of Netflix more and more when you kind of start seeing kind of the fan reactions online and the amazing kind of response to your performance? Or is that kind of something that you don't really try to think about as much? I feel like it's hard not to sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, PD, the thing is, like, it's so hard to know how anything's going to really happen. You know, Netflix bought the rights for distribution for North America at Cannes in May, and that was really exciting. You know, because we knew then how this film would be out. But you know, some of Todd's films in the past, you know, he's not someone that is trying to play to like a commercial audience. He's sort of unapologetic in telling the story that he envisions and the way he wants to tell it. And sometimes that really, you know, that falls on a sliding scale of what is commercial and what's more art film. And I'm just so elated that I think, you know, people have found this film accessible in a really interesting way, with it also still being this beautiful piece of art that Todd has made. But you never know when you're making something, you know, exactly what's going to happen. But I am really enjoying immensely that people are finding this film and really really wanting to talk about it, and that they're enjoying what Todd and everybody and all of us made.
Yeah, Netflix in North America, US and Canada, they could check that out. And then and that's May, December. And no, again, you are incredible in this movie, man. So congratulations, dude. I'm so happy for you and everything. And thank you so much for your time, man. It was super great chatting with you.
Thank you. Thanks for reaching out.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.